you are saying that, okay, you can experience the opposite and suddenly the trauma will be gone, but in reality, you understand the roots of the trauma. So you can't just deal with the trauma by experiencing the opposite, because the trauma is something related to the past, and if there is something that is related to the past, it needs to be like healed or treated in a way that you acknowledge the past in the first place. And you do that by being in the present. So maybe it helps when you like experience the opposite, if you get loved, like support and all this stuff, because that's the nature of a human being. Because when you say trauma, it's something bad, and the opposite of a trauma is something good. So when you experience good things, it will reinforce good emotions in yourself. So I don't see it as a way that you need to experience the opposite in order to heal a trauma. You can face a trauma and accept it and acknowledge it and neutralize it, like remove that power from your life. That way you're gonna understand. So the trauma allows you to take impulse reactions, so it makes you reactive. So whenever you have something happen in your life, you just react to it. That's the effect of a trauma. So when you start being proactive or becoming proactive and having more self-awareness or more self-talk with yourself, that way, even like when something bad that triggers you will happen for you, you will take the time or will take a step back and understand what's happening and be in the track of the events. So it's more about you being able to understand where this is coming from and the roots of it, and at the same time acknowledge and accept the idea that you are facing this particular event. So to actually deal with the trauma, you need first to acknowledge that trauma and understand where it's coming from and why, and understand how it's taking effect in your life. It's not possible to just experience the opposite. Like, it have many broad meanings, honestly, but like that's how you deal with the trauma, is by you becoming more self-aware of what's happening in your life and actually manage yourself enough to not react to what's happening, because that trauma is constantly reinforced to a point where you have like larger weight on yourself. That's why it's important for you to understand what's happening and how it's happening and why it's happening. So the only way to deal with the trauma is to ask yourself questions and open your self-awareness in a way that will allow you to manage your emotions and not react immediately. That way, you are isolating the power of the trauma itself on you. So you don't have to remember the event itself, but you have to pay attention, if I may say. You have to pay attention to what is triggering you, why it's triggering you, how it's triggering you, based on what. Okay, what can be tracked to, like what's the effect, how it might be related to this.